Any luck out there or what?
Well, Bill met a buyer that I have signed on, but, unfortunately, he just got some really not good health news
Oh,
in the middle of our,
I've had that happen before. It is horrible.
it's just, it's a shame on the obvious
For both
level, of
ends,
course, but it's just,
Okay, so
Just keep pushing, you got it.
welcome everyone to Step Ahead for Life. This particular training that we're going to do, I don't know why, I don't know how I'm going to do this. So let's see if I can get Zoom to work right. Okay, this particular training that we're going to do is a very, very practical one in that we teach things all the time about learning how to get new clients, or not how to get new clients, how to get new followers, how to get them engaged. And one of the biggest disconnects that happens with realtors, most realtors don't do anything on social media, right? They start a Facebook page, they've got 12 people on there, they do content haphazardly. But for the ones that even some of the ones, the 1 to 2% that start and they build a following, one of the things that they have a hard time doing is saying, well, okay, I'm getting this following, but I got to turn these followers into clients. And today, in Becoming Digital Master 104, it's a very practical training about how to convert followers into clients. So let's talk about this. Turning social media attention into income. So the problem is this. Most realtors that post and post consistently will get likes, they'll get comments, and they'll grow followers. Now, again, if you read this just the way I wrote it, it'll say that most realtors post consistently. They actually don't. It's very few that post consistently, but the ones that do will get likes, comments, and grow followers. But just by growing likes, comments, and followers, that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get clients. Why? Because what they don't do is they don't track engagement, they don't get conversations started, and they don't convert followers into business. If you get people that pay attention to you without creating a conversion, it's not a business, it's a hobby, right? You become like the kid that's, I'm a social influencer, which we're going to talk about that later in here too. You get people that are on some of these platforms. I'm a social influencer. I don't even know what that really means, but whatever. They're getting paid for people to watch them do a product review. Oh, I've got my electrolyte sport water here, and that's what they do. So what is the digital conversion formula? What's going to work for you to actually make this not be a hobby, but to be a business? Well, it goes from followers to conversations to appointments to clients, and then, of course, to referrals. Remember, this is the same formulas we used when we talked about prospecting: prospects, appointments, listings, contracts, closings. Social media is just simply thought of as a new lead source. See, people always think that social media is kind of like its separate thing on its own, and in some ways it is. But you have to treat anybody that's going to follow you on social media or join your group, you have to treat them as a new lead source and follow up with them the same way. Understanding digital lead time. Real estate lead time applies online too. You're not just going to get 1 million followers and all of a sudden have clients, right? People are going to start following you, and you need to start building that relationship. So first of all, the way they're going to do it is by remembering your name and face. How do you do that? By being visible all the time, consistently posting, repetitively posting. That's why in our groups, we always say to set up the auto posts that post the same things every couple weeks.
Got 13 followers now.
And there you go. and on
It's been a
your,
couple of weeks, but
yep,
yeah.
and on your page to have the posts coming in from your different RSS feeds. Remember that most followers are not going to convert immediately. Some might take a year, 2 years, or longer. But what your job is and what you're trying to do is to shorten the amount of time it goes from that person first following you to them knowing who you are and shortening, that whole cycle to where they actually trust you and would consider using you or referring you as their realtor. Shifting your mindset. I said it was in here. Here it is. You are not an influencer. Okay? I don't even know. I was going to name somebody, but I don't even know any of them. But, there are people out there that literally are famous only because of, well, I have a friend, lives up in Newport Richey. His daughter is a millionaire from TikTok. She's done nothing else. She's living in Los Angeles now in Hollywood with all those people because she's a millionaire from TikTok. I've never seen a video. I don't think I know her name, but whatever. So that's all well and good, but that's not who we are. What are we? We're not social media influencers. We're business owners. You're a listing agent. You're a local authority. You're the one that knows everything going on, which may be kind of like an influencer acts to be, but you're doing it from a different perspective. You're a problem solver. And all social media is to you is a prospecting tool. Remember, you're not on there to try to be the most popular person in town. You're trying there to find that one seller and that one buyer, and then to find another one seller and a one buyer. Here's another thing, and it shocked me when I first had to start teaching this, but likes are not leads. And I had to change a couple of my trainings that you guys have taken early on, because when we talked about how many contacts you had to make in a day, and let's just say your number was 8 as an example, I had people would come back and say, well, I had 3 people like my Facebook post, so that's 3 of my 8. And you're kidding, right?
Yeah,
Likes are not leads,
no.
right? How many times have you liked something and in 30 seconds you forgot where you hit like on? We've all done it. So you got to change your thought process. All a like means is, hey, I noticed you. A comment means I engage with you. And then a direct message means I trust you. Appointments don't happen from your feed. They happen from you turning that person into either coming to your website and calling you, emailing you, or sending you a direct message. Now, as much as I use all this tech stuff, I don't love Facebook Messenger, but it's an evil necessity that we as realtors have to use. And one of the things I'm going to tell you guys, just kind of in a side note, is if you're not connected to somebody on there, in other words, you're not their friend, especially on Facebook, look for the thing that says message requests because they're put in a separate place. And I've a couple times found clients that way. It's like, oh man, I'm glad I looked because it was somebody asking a real estate question. So when you're in there and it says message requests, always click on that. You'll see a whole nother thing opens up. A lot of it will be spam, but once in a while, it'll be somebody on your page. Again, appointments happen in private conversations. Okay. Active versus passive conversation. We've talked about this in other training classes, but here it is again. You have to go get the business. Passive is posting and hoping. Wishes, hope, and dreams, or whatever they say, right? Waiting for inbound messages. You're waiting for somebody to message you. Active conversation is you start messaging commentators or commenters, commenters, right? So somebody writes something, whatever else, follow up with something, continuing the conversation. Start conversations. Ask people questions. Offer things of value. Book calls with people. Remember, you have to go to the business. You can't wait for the business to come to you. I always tell that Wayne Gretzky story from years ago when they asked him why he was the greatest hockey player ever. And he said, because I skate to where the puck is. You got to skate to where the puck is. I guess it's a good analogy the day after the U.S. won the gold yesterday. They skated to where the puck is. You got to skate to where the puck is. Next, you have to identify who to convert. I have to do another count, but at this point, I think I'm over 225,000 followers on my real estate social media pages. It's a lot of people. I can't just think I'm going to target all of them because I can't. So what I have to do is I have to categorize my followers. People that are going to talk to, people that are whatever. Like buyers, they fall into categories. A is somebody that's has to move soon. B is somebody that wants to move. C is somebody that would like to move. Let me explain something about some of the people that are most engaged on your social media groups. Unfortunately, some of those people are people that are never going to move because they're so in love with their town, and that's why they're in love with your group, because your group keeps them connected to their town, which is something that they love. But those people are great to engage with because they can be great referral sources. You got to identify these things. And your real job is to find who must move soon and who wants to move. And you can do that on their page by, again, having conversations. How do you find them? Well, they comment on your listing posts. It's why you need to be putting listings up regularly, even if they're not your own. They ask market questions. I have a little lounge in Newport Richey, a little cigar lounge that I go into once in a while. And every time there's a group of old men, they're always in there. Hey, Bill, how's the market? And and I engage with them. And it's great because people that are in there that don't know who I am, there's not that many usually, but find out who I am and what I do. People that watch your real estate stories regularly, not your what's going on in town stories, which that's a whole other thing, but they watch your real estate stories. Did you know that you can go on and see the people that see your stories? Yeah, good. And make sure you're doing that. Engage with your polls. You might put a real estate poll or a poll about what's going on in town. They message you about neighborhoods. These are the warm leads and the ones that you need to get on your list. And again, creating that marketing funnel of which ones are going to start doing business now. Remember that every engagement gets a plan, just like every contact gets a plan. When someone comments, likes consistently, they're always liking your stuff. They join your group. They sign up on your blog, sign up for your neighborhood news or whatever. These are the people that enter your system. They enter your marketing funnel. And so what you want to make sure is that you have them in your CRM, you have them on your email distribution list, and you have them in your follow-up calendar. All right, comment to conversation strategy. When someone comments, number one, they reply publicly. Number two, well, you need to reply publicly. Number two, you need to send them a DM, direct message. And here's an example. Hey, John, thanks for commenting on that Palm Harbor post. Are you just keeping an eye on the market? Or you think about making a move this year? It's simple. It's non-threatening. It's conversational. And John may be ready to go. And John may not be. He might be doing it for a friend. Whatever it is, I'm going to gather that information and I'm going to act accordingly.
On a side note, Rita sent me a thing all excited saying she just got approved on her Google thing we did last week. The video that we had to take. I was funny too, because I was just literally thinking about it about 5 minutes ago. I haven't heard anything back yet.
Good. Okay. Yeah, you will. They're slow sometimes.
Congratulations.
For her, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that she'll get I'm sure I'll hear something soon, but
Yep.
we basically signed up we did a Google.
The Google business page and you have to verify it. And it's a mess.
Took me like 14 tries. And
yeah.
Apple still denied me. And
Apple denied one of my locations too, but all right. Facebook group conversion. Group members equals a digital farm. That's what your group is. That's truly your digital farm. The likes and the follows on Instagram and Twitter and or X now and TikTok and whatever else. Right now, of all the social media, groups are the place where communities are being built. And that's why most realtors don't have groups. They go in other people's groups, but they're there with 80 other realtors. That's why you don't allow realtors in your group and you make them your own private little farm.
So I got a quick question.
Yeah.
When you said, post online, even if it's not our listing.
You share a listing.
Right, but
Take the link off of your website, off of your Moxie website, because that has your DNA in it
right, I was gonna say, do you want us to basically share it from Century 21?
from your website. Yeah,
Gotcha.
because if not, it won't look like you as the agent.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. Good question. All right. So your strategy in your digital farm, which is your Facebook group, is number one, have a welcome post. I have a welcome post goes out. My welcome posts go out every Friday at like 10 a.m. Is that a great time? I don't know. It's at work, yeah. Because it tags everybody that came. Some people will join a group, right? Have you ever joined a group and 10 minutes later, you forget something distracts you, you forgot you joined it, you never get back there.
Yeah.
Because you may or may not see anything in your feed because of your algorithm. By doing the welcome post, it at least gives you one more shot for that person to be tagged and remember that they joined that group. And a lot of times people will come in, they feel obligated to say, oh, thanks for the ad or whatever else. It starts a conversation.
So sorry to interrupt. You know how I have the Buy Homes Tampa website? Can I do the same thing on that? Can I drag them over and,
Put them in a group.
well, it's an actual website, it's like buyhomestampa.com. You know, I actually own that website.
I'd have to look at it.
I'm just wondering if because right now it's just a blank website.
Oh, you want to send that to your Moxie site for now?
Well, I tried and for whatever reason.
Oh, that's a whole, you'll have to get in touch with our tech guy can do that. Yeah, our tech guy can do that. Okay. Ask engagement questions. So now when somebody responds, you find out what they're looking to do. Put polls in about moving. People love answering polls. I don't know what it is about polling. People love answering polls. Ask 3 or 4 questions, and one of the questions, ask them if they're had thought about moving. Monthly, who do you know posts. Offer free market reports. I'd have that goes out every week or 2 weeks, the free market report. That's a big one. When you build a group, you're building a community and you're building authority and you're building trust. You are making yourself as the local expert. Again, I told you about my friend that had his friend here, Gary, knew who I was from my when he showed up. I mean, this is a guy I've never met before. He goes, oh, I know your friend. He goes, you guys advertise everywhere. He does that Gurus page in my town. And look, he's on my Land O'Lakes page. The more trust you build, the more appointments you're going to get. It's as simple as that. Blog follower conversions. Follow the plan. So when someone downloads a guide from you, they subscribe to your blog, they read your local event posts, they're raising their hand. They're saying to you, hey, I want to be more engaged. So immediately send them a personal note, send them an email, send them a message, offer them something of value. Free market evaluation, free first-time home buyer. As I said, when somebody comes to an open house, this is kind of a side note, but it's the same strategy. Anybody that comes to your open house, you should call the next day and either offer them a free market evaluation, or if they don't own a house, a free first-time home buyer evaluation. It's a second conversation with the people, and it gives them something of value to cement you to them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were yesterday when we did that open.
And ask.
That's kind of what we were.
Mm-hmm.
We only had the $50 gift card. Like, well, what are we going to do for second and third place?
No, that's what it is. It's yep, those free things. Ask us a qualifying question, like something soft. Don't put pressure on them, or they're going to back away because they don't know you real well. So here's an example of that. Thanks for subscribing. Are you a homeowner in the area, or are you thinking about moving here? Simple and basic.
Yeah.
Moving from social to appointment. Having a purpose for every direct message you send. Just like we say, whenever you make a phone call, you have to have a deep purpose on each call. Why am I calling somebody? I'm calling them to get an appointment. Why am I sending somebody a direct message on Facebook? I'm hoping to make an appointment. So before you message them, just ask, what's my objective? Identify their time frame. When are they looking to move? Offer a free CMA if they own a place. Book a consultation if they're a first-time home buyer. And the other thing is never message somebody randomly, because they'll mark you as spam and then they won't see any of your stuff. So not until you've built that conversation should you go and send the message. And you're going to have to be bold about this. Sometimes it may feel a little weird to the person when they get it, but if it flows off the conversation that you've had in maybe 2 or 3 posts, you should minimize that. And again, get them to that next level of building a relationship. Here's the soft close method. I quoted a little Frank Sinatra here. You know, nice and easy does it every time. You guys remember that song? Anyway, nice and easy does it. Anyway, so what not to say? Hey, so you want to list your house? Come on, that's you never do that.
Right.
You know, it's like, I used to work with a broker who would do recruiting, and he'd have an agent in there. So you want to sign up? He'd say at the end, and I'd cringe. And it was crazy. Sometimes they said yes. And I was like, oh,
I'm really
okay.
looking
But
into yesterday I ran into it twice. Two people complaining highly about their last realtor. They didn't want to do the work, they didn't want to put in the effort.
that's
That's like the very first thing out of their mouth. My realtor sucks. Or sucked.
Yeah.
You know.
And again, you want to divert them from that and just remind them, you know, use the old restaurant story that I tell, you know, not, you know, you've ever been to a bad restaurant that stopped you from going to all restaurants? No, you just don't go back to that one. There's good restaurants, there's bad restaurants, there's good realtors, bad realtors.
I kind of
So-
what I still sorry. My rebuttal to him was just, hey, listen, we're Century 21 and we go above and beyond, and our marketing is substantially better than everyone else's.
Good.
And I, came out and I was like, hey, immediately as soon as we put you on, you're going to 17 states, and they were
Okay.
instantly changed their attitude.
Good.
So.
All right. So again, finish up on the soft close method. So instead of saying something like, do you want to list? You want to say, if I could show you how much equity you've gained, would that be helpful? That's now creating a conversation. You're not presenting anything. You're not selling anything. You're just saying, hey, would it help you to know?
Getting that curiosity.
Yeah. And starting to get until then you find out, yeah, they're looking to sell. Yeah, they're looking to go. Offer micro commitments. Get a small yes and let it lead to a bigger yes. So some examples there. You want me to send you a quick value update? Would you like to see what's sold near you? Can I text you the link? Each one of those yeses builds trust, builds a little bit more commitment to you, and builds that relationship. And that's the secret of today of what we're trying to do. Social proof multiplies trust. So after closing, post testimonials. Tag clients in the testimonials. People, I've had agents, well, I don't want my clients to be my friends. Well, you know what? If you've got stuff that you're hiding like that on your social media, you probably shouldn't be in real estate or any other thing in public life, because you're in public life when you're doing this. I get it. Some people are afraid of, oh, I've got kids, and they've got that kind of fear going on. And I don't know. I don't have kids, so I don't maybe understand that fully. Have two profiles, but have something where you're friends with your clients. Yet they're not afraid to put their kid all over Instagram. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
People are so weird about Facebook. But tag the client. Celebrate publicly. Share the story of how you helped them find the house. Anything you went through, not too personal, but things like that. Remember that listings build business. The more listings you have, the more listings you will get. It's the way it works. Success attracts attention. One of the ways I can tell you listings build business, you saw it yesterday. You had two people that are in that neighborhood that came in that you could potentially end up as listings.
Yeah.
Listings beget listings.
Yeah. It is the fact that, like I said, the one guy had a bad experience with the realtor, then he got fed up, and now currently he's for sale by owner. And we offered our services when he's done doing that. And then the other lady, she just stopped in the car and talked to her for 10 minutes.
Now imagine having that in not just the open house forum, but in a million other places you have it out there. That's what ends up happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Public gratitude strategy. This is a great one too. A little thanks goes a long way. So publicly thank your clients. Thank a referral. Thank you so much for referring your friend. It was my honor to serve them. Thank group members just for the participation, even if.
Do you ever
thank commenters? Thank you for commenting on these things. What's up?
Do you ever send them like let's say some client you dealt with, gave you a good lead, then you close with them. Do you ever send that person like a $25 gift card? Or anything?
You have to be careful because there's a limit by law of how much you can give them.
Gotcha.
But you can give them small things that I do absolutely teach giving small triggers. Yep, absolutely. Commenters, people that comment, thank you, for commenting, thank you for engaging, thank you for whatever. People who refer those people, or people who refer anything, show them your appreciation. People that talk, show them your appreciation. Always ask for referrals. You should be always asking for business, guys. This isn't just in person. I've taught you guys in person the 3-3 rule. It's true online. In a post, if you know somebody thinking about buying or selling this year, it'd be my honor to help them. It's direct, it's confident, it's professional, and all it takes is hitting that one person that just got off the phone with their friend or just saw their friend that's looking to buy or sell. It's all it takes. And if you do it consistently, it's going to happen more and more and more. Building a digital follow-up system. All right, digital follow-up calendar, minimum 4 personal touches a year. No different than what we teach you about anybody in your sphere of influence. Sending them a birthday message. A lot of this is sounding redundant, right? It's just you have to put the connection together that you do the same thing. Every day on my Facebook go in, I get a notification somewhere throughout the day of whose birthday it is. I click on it and I send each one of them a happy birthday. If I have their phone number, I'm going to call them. But if I don't, I'm going to at least send them a message. Happy birthday. Quarterly marketing updates, personal check-ins, sending them a direct message. Hey, I was just writing you to see how you are.
Just checking in here.
And again, if you don't have their phone number, use the DM. What's the plus on this? Story engagement. Engage in their stories. Let them engage in yours. Give quick replies. And again, a DM follow-up. DM follow-ups that's where people are getting this now, are getting business. And you got to get comfortable using it. It's a contact sport. All right, automation and personalization, being scalable. We talk about this a lot in digital mastery, but automate, automate, automate. Some of you guys have your RSS feeds turned on.
Yeah.
Make sure you have an email drip campaign for every person that's in your CRM. Mine are set up automatically. I put them in there, boom, they're on 2 or 3 different things. They're getting my newsletter every month. They're getting my just listed, just sold every month. They're getting the neighborhood news once a week, which is market updates, new listing alerts. Those things all happen automatically. I use Moxie for them. Follow-up Boss was the one in the last class. I couldn't come up with a name, but we have Follow-up Boss too. It does the same thing. Make sure you personalize when you send direct messages. When you send voice notes. I know a girl that works for Remax up near me, and she always, from the day I met her, sends me voice messages. She uses Facebook or she uses her text. Voice messages, like what they call voice notes. You can now put voice notes into Facebook posts. That just started last week, I believe. It's more personal. Video replies. I've taught you guys, and some of you set up video replies, right? So when somebody writes on there and whatever, you have your video business card, or you have your proprietary marketing strategy video that you can reply with those videos. You can also reply with personal videos for the right things. Same thing with birthday messages. Has anybody had a birthday since they've been working here? Okay. When you do, I'm going to ruin the surprise. Hope she's not on. She's not here. Cheryl sent me an awesome birthday video with her on there. Happy birthday, Bill. Da, 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 da. How long does it take to do that? 30 seconds? And send it out. People love that stuff, and it will make them feel more connected to you. Automation builds scale, and personalization builds loyalty.
If you talk to Cheryl before I see her, can you ask her to maybe put something, a little information packet maybe together about Chantel loans?
Yeah, if she handles them, I'll have to talk to her.
Yeah, just so we can, instead of telling somebody that you're wrong, they can butthurt about that. I can say, here, check this out.
Yeah. All right. Measuring your conversion. This is another area. Again, most people aren't getting the conversations going. If you guys just take what we just went over about getting conversations going and doing these personal things, you're going to see that social media is going to work for you, as well as people on your blog posts and all this digital marketing. But if you want to really step up your game, you want to track everything, because then you know what's working, what's not working. Especially, it's not just about where you spend money. Like, yes, you want to make sure if you're spending money on ads that you're getting something from them as opposed to free. But if you're spending just time, your time's worth something too. And if you're wasting time on certain initiatives and other initiatives are working great, wouldn't you want to put more time into the things that are working? So track, how many DMs am I sending weekly? How many conversations have I started? How many appointments have I booked? How many listings have I taken? And how many referrals were generated? See, if you don't track it, you can't grow it. And that's why it's so important to track these things. This is a new rule I'm teaching you. Again, this is again for the advanced class here, but it's the 5 DM per rule day. If you send 5 intentional conversations per day, that's 25 a week. It's 100 a month. And remember, if you're sending 100 a month, you only need a few appointments from that to win. Prospecting, guys, is the key. It's the key when you're on the phone, when you're doing your traditional prospecting, but this is adding to it. At 100 people a month, you don't think you can get 1 appointment? Of course you can. Probably 2 or 3. Advanced conversion strategies. Using the video DM strategy. Instead of typing, send a 30-second personal video. Use the script. Hey, Sarah, I noticed you've been watching my Tampa market updates. I just wanted to personally thank you. If you ever need anything, I'm here to help. Videos accelerate trust. That's why I have you send out that video business card to every person that texts you for the first time or you talk to for the first time. No matter what it is, email it to them or text it to them. Why? They see your face, they hear your voice. It makes them trust you quicker. The equity report hook, using market evaluations for business. So you can post things like, hey, curious what your house is worth in today's market. Comment value below. Then DM everyone who comments. It just creates a simple marketing funnel. Run a 30-day seller focus campaign. Have daily seller content, equity posts, market stats, seller mistakes, success stories, and become the listing authority online. If you're always talking about doing listings all the time, people are going to look to you as an expert. What are some common mistakes? Why do realtors fail to convert? Well, they have a fear of sending that DM. Who cares?
Yeah.
What's the worst somebody's going to write back? Stop. Okay, who cares? But people will fear rejection, just like they fear when they call for sale by owner. Overthinking scripts. Anybody that's ever come to script mastery here has seen all of us from when we got started overthink scripts until you learn to relax. You were here that first day with Jerika.
Yeah.
Now look at her on the phone.
Yeah.
She made 4 appointments the other day,
Yeah.
sitting here making phone calls.
Practice makes perfect.
But that's it. She had to, you have to overcome it. So stop overthinking them.
Yep. That's what I told her.
Not asking,
Be
yep.
confident.
Not asking for the appointment. You have to ask. Not having a tracking system. Because if you're doing things that are working and things that aren't working, you want to know what's working so you can do more of those things. And follow through is everything. Follow up, follow up, follow up. That's why, you call over and over and over. We had that stat that we brought up in another training where, the most sales don't happen until the 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th touch. And less than 10% of people actually make any more than about 6 touches. Growing your confidence. Oh, I've called them so many times. I'm bothering them. Stop, get rid of that mentality. Instead, look at it as you're offering expertise. You're providing clarity. You're solving problems. You're protecting their equity. You're serving families. Operate from service, not from neediness. So 30-day action plan. Week 1, clean up the profiles. Make sure you got good profiles on there. Organize your CRM. Make sure that you get as many people that you have their info in your CRM. And identify your top 50 followers. On week 2, I want you to send 5 DMs a day. And you're going to start equity conversations. Week 3, you're going to offer free CMAs. You're going to book some consultations. And week 4, you're going to launch a seller campaign and track the number of appointments. So your commitment. Are you, as I say to people when I first interview them, are you willing to work? Are you willing to learn what to say? And then you're willing to follow through. If you do those three things, anybody can be successful in this business. Digital mastery, just like calling prospects, is not magic. It's a disciplined activity. And if you do it day in and day out consistently, week in and week out, year in and year out, it will yield results. So let's get to work. Get organized, create your digital conversion plan, start 5 conversations today. Don't wait. Let's get going every day, 5 a day, 5 a day. Remember that followers are not your clients yet. You've got to turn them into clients. And they can be clients if you get them in a funnel and start working them. So questions on this, guys?
No,